After 20 years navigating classrooms, teachers, and every unwritten rule I can think of, I now help teaching assistants feel confident, calm, and actually in control during the school day. And let's be honest, your life in school would be made easier if communication was better and you were told about the rules that are just waiting to catch you out. The problem and why it hurts. You walk into a classroom thinking, right, I've got this. And then 3 minutes later, you're thinking, wait, am I allowed to do that? Should I have moved then? Was I meant to step in or stay back? Why does everyone else seem to know what's happening except me? Because nobody told you the rules, but everyone expects you to follow them. And that gap, the gap between what you think you should do and what the teacher secretly expects you to do, is where 90% of new TA stress lives. This is why so many brilliant new TAs feel awkward, worried about offending teachers, unsure when to take initiative, constantly second guessing themselves, and worse, it can make you feel like you're doing a bad job when actually you're just missing information no one ever gives you. These unspoken rules aren't personal, they aren't about being good enough, they are simply the natural rhythms of a classroom, predictable, learnable, and 100% figure outable. So let's break down the biggest ones TAs wish someone had told them sooner. 1. When the teacher is talking, you don't talk, but you do work. New TAs often freeze during whole class input because no one tells them what their role is. Here's the actual expectation. Don't interrupt the teacher's flow, but don't sit passively either. Scan the room, then quietly circulate around the room and support quietly where needed. This silent productivity is one of the first rules teachers silently rely on. The moment you master it, you suddenly look like you've been doing this job for years. And I remember my first TA job. I mean, I'd done my level two and level three MVQs. I'd learnt all the theory, but I went into a year one class and I was completely lost. I didn't know what was expected of me, and I felt like everything I'd learned in my courses was just useless. I look back now and I can see that it wasn't. You know, I had strong foundations and an understanding of the theory, but nobody had told me how to manage things in practice. 2. The teacher leads while you support behaviour as well as learning. This one feels contradictory until you've lived it. Teachers lead the lesson, but TAs control the environment. You are the one who spots early signs of behaviour issues, stands or sits near a child before behaviour escalates, redirects calmly, models calm when the class gets restless. No one says this out loud, but every teacher expects it, and it makes or breaks the smooth running of a lesson. So you are observing, you are looking around the room, looking to see who's engaged, who's not engaged. You know, is there a child tapping a pencil? Is there somebody sort of tipping on their chair? So it's about just calmly being there. Proximity is amazing. Just walk and stand near a child who's potentially going to be disruptive and see how it changes things. 3. You act before the teacher has to ask. So most teachers don't have time to micromanage you. Now, that's not to say you won't find a teacher who loves to micromanage, but most teachers don't have the time. So the unspoken rule, see it, do it. If you can train yourself to notice when a child is stuck, respond when a child's attention is drifting, support a child who is dysregulated, refocus a group that is off task, you quickly become a valued member of the team, because the teacher has got a really tough job getting that information across to them. But if you've got children in the class who are, potentially going to be disruptive, that makes teaching very, very difficult. So if the TA manages what's going on in the environment, manages how the children are responding, that makes the teacher's job a lot easier. 4, your relationship with the teacher is built on reading the room, not asking constant questions. Now, in their early days, new TAs often think, I'll just keep checking what the teacher wants. But here's the unspoken rule. The teacher doesn't want you to ask constantly. They want you to observe, interpret, and then act. So you build trust by watching how the teacher manages the class, matching the teacher's style, backing them up, keeping communication simple and well timed. It makes you feel like a team, not two people working on different pages. So, you can ask questions, of course you can, but it's about the timing of those questions. Do not ask a question when the teacher is trying to teach. At some point, the children will be working independently and then you can ask, or you can ask at break time. That makes a big difference to your working relationship when the teacher can see that you are trying your best to match how they are doing things and you're providing backup for them. 5, your presence matters more than your words. Now that sounds strange, but your presence can calm a child, settle a group, reassure a teacher, reset a moment, prevent a meltdown, and stop a behaviour spiralling out of control. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to be a disciplinarian. You just need to be consistently steady. And that is what makes you indispensable. It was often said about me that I was a very calm presence in the classroom. Now, I didn't always feel calm, but I put out a calm impression to everybody. And that actually helped children to be calm and it helped the teacher to be calm. Because if you amplify your voice and if you start speaking quickly, then that quickly becomes, mirrored by the children. And then the teacher starts feeling unsettled and very quickly things start to spiral. And that's exactly what you don't want. So it is about being a calm presence, and you'd be amazed what that will achieve. So when you understand the unspoken rules of the classroom, everything shifts. You stop feeling like you're constantly getting it wrong. You start to trust your instincts. You move with purpose. You become the person in the room who quietly holds everything together. This is where confidence comes from. Not magic, not luck, but clarity about those pesky unspoken rules. Now, if you're thinking, why has nobody explained this before? Then you'll love my School Ready course. It's completely free, and you also get a free PDF. And if you finish the course, you can request a certificate of completion too. So whether you're about to start your first job or you've already begun and want to understand how things really work day to day, This series will help you feel confident, prepared, and fully part of the team. There's 12 videos and they cover how to impress on your first day as a TA, how to support the teacher without overstepping, how to ask for help without feeling awkward, how to manage behaviour like a pro, how to take initiative without taking over, understanding safeguarding, understanding terminology and routines, how to support children during lessons, how to stay useful when you're not sure what to do, how to support children with SEND without feeling out of your depth, how to build positive relationships with children even when their behaviour is tricky, and how to organise a classroom without stressing out. Now, I like to think that this course is actually about all the stuff that you're not told. So if you have done, you know, level 2 and 3 MVQs, or you've done some online learning, you probably will have been taught the theory, which is great because it's important to know the theory. But you won't have been really told about those day-to-day routines. You'll be told what you should do. You won't necessarily be told how it is. And that's what I think this course addresses. So I'll put a link to it in the description and comment sections below this video. And it also comes with a free 27-page progress and reflection PDF. And although the course is not an accredited course or official continued professional development, I will issue a certificate of completion once you've completed it. And you can use it as evidence of your own self-directed learning, which is brilliant. When you at your appraisal, to show your senior leadership team that you are thinking about what you need to learn and you're getting on and doing it yourself. The link to this free course has just popped up on your screen now. Tap or click to watch.